Okay, guys, I am so excited that I'm getting ready to talk to you guys about meal planning, okay? You guys, it is absolutely something that I love. I've been doing this for years, and it's absolutely just made my life so much easier. Not to mention, I spend less time doing dishes, okay? So here, let's dig in, okay? So first of all, this here is actually in your guide, okay? Beautiful, 3 pages. It's everything that you're going to really need, and it's just going to break everything down for you, okay? So first of all, I'm going to give you a couple tips, okay? So what I do is I plan my meals out. I don't go to the grocery store. I don't wander around the grocery store and plan it that way. I sit down with a piece of paper. I sit down, talk to my family, and we just plan our meals out, okay? And I do this usually on Fridays or Saturdays is when I do this. Sunday is when I go to the grocery store. And it's when I do my cooking as well, okay? So I usually, while I'm cooking Sunday dinner, I'm also planning and cooking the meals for the rest of the week. Okay, so what you're gonna do, and you'll see it right here, you're actually going to pick 2 to 3 proteins. We have it listed here 2, and 2 is perfectly fine. I would say, depending on if you are a person that takes your lunch during the day, which I do highly recommend you having your lunch prepared, okay? It makes life so much easier, and it gives you that chance to really stay on track, okay? And so what I do is I say, pick out 2 to 3 proteins. You're gonna pick out 2 or 3 of the healthy carbs, and like sweet potatoes, beans, rice, whatever. And then you're gonna pick out 2 to 3 vegetables, okay? And so you're gonna pick those meals out, you're gonna go grocery shopping for them, you're gonna come home on Sunday, and you're gonna start planning what you're eating, okay? Or cooking what you're eating, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna set aside between 1 to 2 hours is usually what it takes me, and you're going to invest in glass. Okay, so you're gonna invest in glass containers. I like these. They have 2 slits in them, but some people do not like their food to touch. So if you're a person you don't like your food to touch, what I would recommend doing is getting the ones that's got the 3, or do the one with 2 and do one with 1, and you could do your meat here, your veggies, and your carbs here, okay? So that's kind of what I would recommend. And these you can get off Amazon. If you need a link for these, you can let us know, reach out to your coach, and we can send you the Amazon links directly to these. These are the ones I've used for years, and I absolutely love them. Okay, so for my dinners, I actually have these big glass ones here because I usually keep all my veggies here, and then I put my meat also in one of these as well. So what I do on Sunday afternoon is what I do is we batch cook. Okay, so on Sunday evenings, we batch cook. So what we do is, for example, we have our crock pot, we have a Blackstone, we have an oven, we have a stovetop, we have a Traeger, we have all these cooking things, okay? We can cook many different ways, okay, here at my house. But what I do is, for example, this week, okay, I actually threw chicken into my crock pot, okay? And I put a bunch of spices on it, different spices, and I cooked it and I shredded the chicken, okay? So through the week, what we did is we used that chicken for salads. We used it for tacos. There were so many different things we could do with that chicken. So I do that a lot of weeks, okay? Not every week, but a lot of weeks. It's just a really good, simple thing to do, to have that in our house. And it's great for snacks. It's great for lunches. It's great for dinners. Okay, so that's just one little helpful hint there. Okay, so that's one of the things I did this week. So what we did this week is we actually, on our Traeger, we did steaks and burgers. Okay, those are the 2 meats that we chose. Plus I had the chicken in the crock pot. Those are what we cooked. Okay, and then when my husband's out there cooking that stuff, I was in here chopping vegetables, cutting up all the fruits. And I put the fruits and the veggies, I put them in containers like these, okay? And I find whenever I have veggies and fruit, like veggies I'm gonna eat raw and fruit, I find if I already have it chopped up in the container, it does get eaten, okay? We will snack on it when we're wanting those snacks. It's really great and handy to have, okay? But if I don't chop them up, we don't always eat them, okay? So while he's out there doing that, I'm also getting all of our veggies that we're cooking. This week, we actually cooked asparagus and broccoli. Both of those, I actually cooked in the oven. I put spices on them, cooked them in the oven. So guys, the carbs that we had this week is I actually cut up sweet potatoes. I put them in a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, put them in the oven, and they were delicious, okay? And then I also made black beans. So those are the 2 carbs that I made this week. Now let me tell you how I paired all of this stuff as meals, okay? So we had our steak, we had it with broccoli, and we had sweet potato. So that right there was meal number 1. And we also both ate it for lunch 2 days this week. Meal number 2 was our shredded chicken. We had the shredded chicken with the black beans, and I did some salsa, I did avocado, I threw some lettuce, and guys, it was super delicious, okay? And that right there was meal number 2. So meal number 3, guys, was the burger, and it was a sweet potato and asparagus. So that was meal number 3. And all of those meals we ate. So you guys, we ate all of those meals several times this week. That was just kind of our go-to meals. And for example, you know, if someone kind of got tired of something, you know, they could take the chicken or the chicken that we had and they could put it on a salad. They could put it in a roll. They could take like low carb shells and roll them up. There were so many different things they could do with it. They also could take the steak and cut it and make it into like, put it in like a bed of lettuce. There's so many different things you can do with these meals that I've already cooked to where you're not eating the same meals over and over, but you have all your meat prepared. Another great tip that I have for you guys is I don't heat things up in the microwave. I hardly ever use my microwave for reheating, and the reason is because things don't taste as good. So one tip I have is whenever you put when you do the shredded chicken in the crock pot, if you save that juice, and then when you go and reheat it, you can reheat it in the oven or in the stove top or even in the crock pot again, pour that juice on top of it. So if you will reheat your meals on either the oven or on the stove top or the Traeger or your Blackstone or whatever, but not the microwave, okay? I promise you, you won't even know you're eating leftovers because it tastes just as good as it did the day that you cooked it, okay? And it's super simple and it doesn't take long. You guys, all of this actually saves me from having to do dishes every single night because I use paper plates. And it also saves me from having to think about what we're eating. You know, I don't have to think about it. And if you are a mom that's got kids like in travel sports or, you know, maybe you work late or whatever it is, because I know you guys are all busy. If you will use these tips and this is how you'll eat, it'll just become such a habit over time that you won't even, it won't even seem like work, okay? I promise you, you start using this, this will be the only way you will cook.